I wrote a few weeks ago already on my sense that there was a danger of genocide occurring in Gaza. And I mentioned the fact that peculiarly, if you like, Israeli political and military leaders, people with executive power, had been making statements as of October 7th, right at the beginning of this, that echoed genocidal intent. We should wipe them out. They're human animals. We should flatten Gaza. We should remove the population from Gaza, and so forth. And there was a kind of slippery slope between speaking about Hamas and speaking about Gazas in general. Most Gazans are refugees, or Palestinian refugees from 1948 and their descendants. Uh, so that is, in truth, exceptional, because often regimes carry out genocide while trying to present it's something else. And here you had people with executive power making statements that could be interpreted as genocidal. But that's not enough to establish that a genocide is going on. You also need to see that it's happening on the ground. So there has to be a link between statements and actions. And in the case of Israeli military actions, my own thinking is that what we see right now is very likely war crimes because of the great disproportionality between civilian and military or combatant losses. We are talking about almost, it seems, 20,000 people have been killed. And according to the IDF spokesperson himself, 2 out of 3 people killed are civilians. He was sort of tapping himself on the shoulder when he said that, but that means 10, 12,000 civilians killed, the majority of whom are women and children. So there is evidence that there may be war crimes being carried out that may also indicate crimes against humanity, extermination of large numbers of civilians. In order for it to be genocide, you have to show that there is an intent in the operations to target specifically Palestinians as such. That's part of the genocide definition. Are they being targeted as Palestinians as such, not as excessive collateral damage? And to my mind, what is most troubling right now, and that has developed since I last wrote about it, is that about 1.8 million Palestinians out of 2.2 or 2.3 have been displaced. They've been displaced, they've been concentrated in a very small territory. Their homes have largely been destroyed. The Israeli army and government have not committed to allowing them back. And they're now in conditions that are creating an ever-widening humanitarian disaster. And there is a great deal of talk in Israel about removing them entirely from Gaza, which would indicate that this is an operation of ethnic cleansing. As one Israeli minister, Dichter, said, this is Nakba 2023. That is Nakba for the disaster of 1948, the expulsion of 750,000 Palestinians in 1948. Ethnic cleansing often deteriorates into genocide because people don't want to move. And so in order to encourage them to move, you kill them. And so we are, I think, right now at a point where ethnic cleansing seems to have been carried out and is ongoing, and it may become genocidal.